You're listening to a podcast from thespoilist.com. Hello, welcome to First Contact, the Star Trek The Next Generation intro cast. I'm Andrew.
I'm James.
And I'm Alex.
We are back to celebrate our first birthday with an overview of Season 1. Now, we thought we could sit down and have a nice long discussion about everything we liked, the highlights, the lowlights, but then we thought, that sounds like a lot of effort, so let's just read out some episode titles and see if Alex actually remembers what any of this was about.
Okay.
Now, we're going to go through these in a random order, so let's see how it goes. So, Alex, what do you remember about Code of Honor?
Racism.
Correct.
Okay, what about Too Short a Season?
Were they yielding crops?
If I said Muppet makeup, what would that make you think of?
Jim Henson's funeral?
No, I'm afraid Too Short a Season is the episode where the old Admiral gets increasingly younger and then drinks all the magic potion and dies.
Ah, that title really doesn't apply to that episode. Fair enough.
Okay, let's try this one. The Last Outpost.
Ferengi?
Yes, well done.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Did Picard go back onto his old ship?
No.
No. I have no idea then.
It was one of the early examples of a giant floaty head, and Riker goes down to the planet and does some Chinese philosophy with an ancient alien, and Worf gets beaten up by the Ferengi. I think that's all that happened.
No, that still doesn't ring a bell. Oh, yes, it was terrible, wasn't it?
Do you have any memory of Haven?
I want to say paedophilia?
Why?
I just like the word. Haven. Well, it's a holiday camp.
Nothing on that?
No.
Ah, fair enough then. Guess we just move on.
No. Yeah, I think so.
What about 11001001?
This one I do remember. This one was the Bynars. All I remember is that they were in it, and that Wesley kept looking at them with a sort of face, almost as if they just used one of his best jumpers as toilet paper.
Okay, what about the episode Home Soil?
It's one of the Crystal episodes. Men are killed by mining equipment.
You know, I couldn't remember that episode at all, even though we only talked about it a few months ago.
I'll be honest with you, that's about all I remember. It is at the depressing state of affairs where I remember the jokes we made about it and not the plot itself. After all, it's a crystalline structure, isn't it? Always having life, them crystalline structures.
Right, how about Justice?
Wesley's sentenced to death and not before time?
Yes.
Did he step on the grass?
He landed on a bush.
But there are some ball games that he doesn't know. What about When the Bow Breaks?
When the bow break. Jesus Christ. Is that Wesley has a test?
No.
Is friend Nick's a spaceship?
No, this is the episode you were referring to when you said paedophilia.
No, it wasn't. I was referring to Haven.
No, Haven is the one with Loxana Troyan beating the drum.
Oh no, no, I was referring to Justice.
It's when the children all get kidnapped from the ship and have to go down to the planet and get put with special tutors, including one little girl with a creepy old man.
Yes, and he teaches her to play the pink oboe. Yes.
What happened in The Naked Now?
Orgies.
Frozen orgies.
I genuinely can't remember why. Were they diseased? I mean, diseases are rife at an orgy, which is why you should always take some Xanax with you, but...
You know, it was also the episode where everyone got drunk.
I feel that the best way to get through this series is to be drunk, so...
Tasha Yar experienced a stream of data.
Yes, that's right. You had to remind me of it, didn't you? You just had to bring it up. I mean, this is torture, frankly.
Well, you know, Data having sex with Tasha might be important for a future storyline.
Wow, we're really running the barrel dry with that one then, aren't we?
Well, no, it actually is important for a future episode.
No, I was referring to Tasha Yar.
What about Where No One Has Gone Before?
P? For Picard?
No!
No! Oh, God.
Wesley is a gifted child.
I'll take another clue.
The Enterprise is getting its warp engine upgraded.
That seems to happen every other week.
There's Kaczynski, who's a prick.
Oh, he's... Yeah, Wesley's groomed. Yes. Yeah. That's literally all I remember.
Do you remember anything? And there might be a clue in the title. It's a very funny pun. Hide and Q. See what they did there? They put Q in instead of seek, and they sound the same. Oh no, they don't. They don't sound the same at all.
The phrase that comes to mind is revolutionary French pigs.
Are there?
Wesley gets pierced with the bayonet.
Oh, of course, I forgot all about that. But then he gets to become a man.
What, because he's been poked in the back?
What did you think of Angel 1?
Is that the planet whose only feature was that it was ruled by women?
That is exactly it. Well done. That was a memorable one, clearly.
Yeah. Was there anything else to the plot of that one?
What do you remember about Lonely Among Us?
Picard turns into an energy cloud. And someone falls through the floor?
I don't even remember that, to be honest. However, P?
For pistachios? Well, I mean, they're very tasty, but I don't think it's the time.
Do you remember Heart of Glory?
No.
Have you got a vague guess?
Racism?
How do you feel about the Klingons?
Oh, racism. Yeah. Oh, I was right. Yeah.
Do you remember Encounter at Farpoint?
I remember that we've watched it. It had Q. And a giant jellyfish.
Do you remember We'll Always Have Paris?
Would you like some wine? Or some cheese? That was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, they go to Blackpool.
And yet they didn't go up the tower. They didn't go to the pleasure beach. They didn't ride the Pepsi Max roller coaster. I mean, I feel that they wasted their time.
Do you remember an episode titled Symbiosis? Just say no.
Terrible masks and everyone wants to eat each other?
No, that's Lonely Among Us as well.
Is it really? Good God. No then, no.
Just say no?
Yeah, just say no.
Oh, everyone's on drugs.
Yeah. Well, what about The Big Goodbye?
That was the holodeck one with Dixon Hill.
Yeah, it was a good one, wasn't it?
I have a feeling that one only sticks in my mind because it was a different setting. And so it would be hard to confuse with anything else.
And another episode we described as a good one, Coming of Age.
Oh, that's the one where Wesley has a test. And someone has a career of being the man who screams underneath a pillar.
Well, connected to that, do you remember Conspiracy?
Oh yeah, I mean, who couldn't remember a load of SS officers gathering in a Berlin suburb to discuss the extermination of the Eastern European Jews?
Not that one.
Ah, no.
Do you remember The Arsenal of Freedom?
Oh, yes! On a planet abandoned by people, presumably because the inland revenue are coming.
How about everyone's favourite kind of skin? A skin of evil.
Gimp suits.
We've not seen the episodes with Riker's trip to Risa yet.
A gimp suit in a sea of tar.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up as well. Do you remember anything notable happening to a particular character in that?
No. In many ways, it might have enlivened the episode. I mean, there was some expendable cast they could have gotten rid of.
Yeah, I don't really remember much about that one myself.
For an episode I'm sure we all remember, Data Law. The clues in the name.
Yes, evil twin and terrifying drawings by children of a mass slaughter.
Do you remember the neutral zone?
Oh, yes.
Do you remember the battle?
Ferengi?
Yes.
Then purely by deduction, that must be the one with Picard's old ship.
Well done. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that if you hadn't gone for the other Ferengi episode first.
Well, there you go. That wraps up our first season overview. It's that kind of in-depth analysis that keeps you all coming back for more.
I think we can all agree it's been memorable.
We'll be back very soon, and we'll be talking all about Season 2 and taking you through the next 6 seasons over the coming months and indeed years. But for now, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.